is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Right? I think Marcel wants to go out with us and do the shows out there at the Turks and Caicos. Right,
Hey,
Marcel?
I would do a Caribbean tour, a little Antigua, you know, a little Virgin Islands, you know, do just the whole rounds, man. Chilling St. Martin for a little bit.
Mama didn't raise no dummy.
No, sir, she did not.
So tell me, how was this weekend for the Dolphins by signing X and trading Devante Parker and a 5th rounder for a 3rd rounder? How does Marcel Louis-Jacques rate it with his PSG jersey or kit? I'm sorry.
Oh shoot, hold on. I got to do that one. There we go. You know, the script, it's flipped. It's mirrored on the screen. But hey, I said before that you know, when we spoke on Thursday, that there was enough goodwill from both sides of the Xavien Howard equation, from his camp and the Dolphins, that a deal was going to get done before training camp. I didn't realize it was going to be within the next 24 hours. I'm not going to take credit for that, but it's something that, again, a popular theme that we've been hitting during my appearances on this show is that the Dolphins will tell you what they're going to do. Like, people will tell you what they're doing. You just have to not think piece it to death. You know, they kept all their main pieces on defense. They brought back Josh Boyer. They brought in Sam Madison and Pat Surtain. Everything that they've done has suggested that they like how this defense is as currently constructed. Nothing suggested that they were going to let Xavien Howard walk. You cannot bring back this defense and keep it intact without bringing back your best player. It's an A1 move. It is crazy money for a player who can quantifiably win you games. There are 2 games specifically that he won with plays that he made: the forced fumble against the New England Patriots in week 1, and the fumble for a touchdown that he took back against the Ravens there in, what was that, week 10, week 11. So it was a no-brainer to me. Moving on to Devante Parker, this was something that I've been talking about with you for a couple of weeks now, that he was not necessarily a player that this coaching staff saw as a fit for this new receiver room. The fact that they traded him in the division, I know people have heard this a lot, but the fact that they traded him within the division kind of tells you all that you need to know about how they felt about him as a player. That this is a guy who, yeah, we can get some value back for him. So, like, he is a good player in that regard, but not a guy who we feel is going to hurt us in the long run. That's basically the message that Miami sends by trading him to the New England Patriots. And the fact that they got a 3rd rounder out of it, even if you have to part ways with the 5th, who cares? That's easy compensation, easy money, to like an easy trade. You do that 10 times out of 10. I love their arsenal of draft picks in 2023 right now. 2 firsts, a 2nd, and 2 thirds. That is a ton of ammo to do what, again, we've been teasing for a little while now, where if guys, so don't freak out on the comments, Tua does not properly develop for one reason or another, you have plenty of draft ammunition to move up for a quarterback next year. There are some talented passers coming out if they have to do that, if they have to go that route. And if not, then you've got so many picks to build around to it, continue to put a good roster together before you have to pay a quarterback. So I think it's just I can't rave enough about how much I like these moves and how good of a position that these moves are going to put the Dolphins in moving forward.
Yeah, no, it keeps them flexible again, because next year you won't be able to spend as much, but you'll be able to spend and draft capital. So there'll be other ways that you can augment your team. This year you did it through free agency because you had already built your foundation. So I like the method behind the madness. I was just explaining it to Joe Shad that you also, next year, you get into your 4th year of picks, where players now start to come off contracts. So that next wave of picks, that's your next wave that starts to replace some of those guys that you may not keep, and then get compensatory picks for those down the line. So you're going to now start to make decisions over the next 2 years of players you're going to keep and let go, and then that cycle starts. So it's very smart the way they're building it, and the way they're positioning themselves with extra picks down the line.
Agreed. I think that, and Chris Greer, for all of the criticism that he gets, some justified, some not, he has always been aggressive in the trade market, and this is no different this summer. Trading for Tyreek Hill and trading away Devante Parker. It is a. I'm giving this an A. I'm giving this offseason an A so far. Nothing they've done. I think there has not been a single move they've done where I said, I don't think I like that. I don't like that signing. Oh, why are they bringing him back? What do they do? None of that. Like, everything they've done has been like, yes, this is the way. This is the way to go. I said the other day, when you look at the main areas, the main points that the Dolphins needed to fix this offseason, they needed to secure the offensive line. They needed to bring back their free agents, Gesicki and Ogba. They needed to build weapons around Tua Tagovailoa. They've done all of it. And people can argue, that, okay, is adding 2 names really securing the offensive line? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This offensive line right now is better than last year's. Adding Connor Williams and Teron Armstead gives you a better line than last year, period. There's going to be, there's some coaching that needs to be done here. There's still some development that needs to be done here. It's not a final product. I'm not saying that this is the new steel curtain. This is not the Dallas Cowboys back in the day. Like, this is not the best line in the NFL, but it's secured. It is secured without a doubt. So, I think, like I said, everything that they've done this offseason has, gotten at the very least a head nod. It's ranged from head nod to standing ovation. We'll put it that way.
By the way, I got to give Brandon Maxwell some credit. He and I were thinking alike while Marcel was talking. He goes, Marcel went all Mandalorian on us. This is the way. This is the way. I don't know if you watched The Mandalorian, but that's kind of okay, because you said this is the way a bunch of times. So you went Mandalorian on us there with that.
Somebody caught it then.
Yeah, I caught it too. I was going to say it, and I saw Brandon mention it, and I go, he picked up on it too, that you said it several times. All right, so we look at, and by the way, I don't think that hamstring's going to hold up in the cold. That move is going to, I think that move will blow up on the Patriots, kind of like the Isaiah Ford move. I think it's going to kind of blow up on them, and who knows, you might get Devante Parker back for nothing.
But I had a conversation with a friend of mine who was a national reporter and had said, you don't trade away good receivers. And I said, for as great as Bill Belichick is, obviously the greatest NFL coach of all time, wide receiver is not exactly his strong suit in terms of.
No, he sucks. No, he sucks.
So just because Bill Belichick says this receiver, I want him, does not really mean. It's not the same. It's not the same as trading an offensive lineman or a linebacker or a defensive back or a tight end to New England.
Bill can't draft a receiver, bro. He can't draft a receiver. If his life depended on it, he can't draft a receiver. He is one of the worst ever at trying to find receivers in the draft. Terrible. Yeah,
like I like Jacoby Myers a lot. I liked him a lot at NC State. That was a good find for them a couple years ago. There's been the gems. Wes Welker had his best seasons in New England. Deion Brands, Troy Brown.
That's not a draft pick. Welker was a trade that that you saw.
I know. I'm not saying like,
you know what I mean. But
I'm not saying they're all got there via the draft. It's just in terms of evaluating talent and adding talent at the wide receiver position. He has his hits, but mostly misses. So I don't think that I don't think this necessarily falls in that realm of don't trade players to the Patriots. I think no, if New England's willing to give you a 3rd round pick for your wide receiver 4, let's be honest here. He didn't have a role. He didn't have a role here moving forward. When you look at what they've added to the receiver room, speed, separation, yak ability, Devante Parker, with all due respect, does none of those things. Like, none of those describe Devante Parker's game. He's a possession receiver. He's a move the chains. He's a 50-50 jump ball, red zone threat. It's almost a relic. You know what I mean? He's almost a relic of the wide receiver position back when being a big body and winning with strength and physicality was, that's what the league thought everybody needed. When you look at when he was drafted in the mid 2010s, that's not really the case anymore. It's shifty, small, fast separators that really thrive in today's NFL. Not just the, big body, I'm going to outmuscle you, but I can't separate from you type of receiver. So I don't know. Maybe because of what the receiver room looks like in New England, he might be successful. I think he should be the clear-cut number one over there, but he was not going to have a role in Miami, and that's not even debatable. I don't think anybody has tried to argue that over the past few days.
By the way, Edge Energy Drink, you can order it myedgedrink.com. Smooth, delicious, and zero aftertaste. If you want a great energy drink, myedgedrink.com. Get it delivered right to your door. Liquor Split, by the way, will deliver it also. So you can also download the app of Liquor Split, and you can order your Edge Energy Drink right away, and you'll thank me for it at the same time. All right, are they going to do anything with that cap space that they now have from Devante Parker, or is that just to be used for maybe future issues?
Well, I know that the biggest remaining move after like the Tyreek Hill trade was to bring Xavien Howard back and fix that situation. So now that that's taken care of and Parker's space is cleared out, they get a few million from that. I wouldn't expect big names. I'm not hearing anything positive about JC Treader as far as, Dolphins signing him. I'm not hearing Tyrann Mathieu as a possibility either. Bobby Wagner.
He said it already. He said it. Greer said it already that he wasn't going after Mathieu. But what are you hearing of Treader? Why is he still out there? Because he's a pretty good player, dude. I would figure if it's not the Dolphins, somebody else needs a center, bro. Why is he still out there? I'm just as confused as you are, and nobody that I'm talking to, nobody I've spoken with about Treader necessarily understands it either, which means there's something going on behind closed doors. Maybe there's an injury history. Maybe it's his camp. Maybe he's not in a rush to sign right now. I mean, what is the rush if you're JC Treader? You're a vet. Like, you don't necessarily need to sprint into a facility in April, in May to do OTAs. As long as you're somewhere by training camp, you're going to be okay. So I don't know, maybe Treader's camp is not in a rush here, but I do think that Greer raved about Michael Dieter at the league meetings last week. I fully believe or fully expect them to run into this coming season with Dieter at center. I don't think they got a proper eval from him last year. Fluky knee injury, but they like him in the locker room. Again, we talked about this on Thursday. If you're getting a lot of calls, if a lot of people want something that you have, then you're going to start looking at that thing a little differently and say, oh, you know what, maybe I should hang on to this. I had a baseball card. I forget who it was. I had a baseball card that, sitting on my desk in my office in Havasu, and, people would walk by and say, oh, hey, what is you into that? You want that? I was like, now I do. So I think, same concept here. But, I would expect that this is Dieter's job to lose. And then the rest is just, plug and play, figure out who works best where. I'm rewinding this whole thing and giving everybody a clean slate, because I believe all these players were cheated out of good coaching. And now I'm going to be able to find out, even though Austin Jackson does make me a little nervous seeing him a lot, but all the other guys, Hunt and everybody else, I think will be better. Eichenberg, all these cats, I think will be better now with these guys. And if they fail with Frank and McDaniel and Applebaum and these guys, then I know you're not a player. You don't belong on the team, and you need to move on from them. But I am going to give a clean slate to the offensive linemen who I think were cheated out of, a proper start here in this league.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys are getting clean slates with this new staff, with the exception of Parker, who, like I said, this staff was never necessarily excited about. I beat it to death. I've said it ad nauseum here that they saw playmaker and wide receiver as arguably as big of a need and big of a concern as offensive line heading into this offseason. And that's kind of a large reason why they saw it as Jalen Waddle and who at wide receiver, and that's
Right.
why it's looking pretty rebuilt at this point.
Yep, I'm with you there. All right, what are you working on ESPN so folks can check you out?
Yeah, keeping on, want to keep on breaking down these moves of the offseason, what they mean moving forward. The draft strategy has changed. They got a handful of picks now instead of a full allotment. How does that change what they approach each round, how they approach each round and each day? Still got that feature coming. It is 90% done, probably going to come out some point next week. Really excited to share that with you guys and help share the human element of some of your favorite players. And then, of course, we know the offseason workouts began today. We should be getting some access throughout the week. We're going to hear from players about what Mike McDaniel's what kind of ship he runs, how these practices are going, how chemistry is building, all of that good stuff, man. It's the NFL. We never really sleep until June. So, but the actual football is coming soon. I think that's exciting. It's incredible, right? Because it feels like this is the fastest 3 months of the offseason that I've ever experienced. It's just been a constant cycle of news, of drama, of trades, of signings, and it's part of why this is America's premier sporting league.
Amen to that. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ, baby, and you can catch him here doing his thing twice a week with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. Marcel, thank you as always, my friend. Appreciate you.
Of course, man. See y'all Thursday.
You got it. There you go. Marcel Louis-Jacques. And don't forget, myedgedrink.com. Yesterday, I was relaxing. It was just one of those things. I got a little Grey Goose. I got a little bit of edge. And then I had the edge. You have the edge right now on the Dolphins with Marcel, but you've got to try the edge yourself. And by the way, Liquor Split, a brand new sponsor of ours here that started today. You can download the app, iOS, Google, whatever, wherever you get it, Android, you name it. You can go look for it, Liquor Split, and then you can download and order your favorite liquor, but you can also order your Edge energy drink right to your home, man. It's a beautiful thing. So go to myedgedrink.com. You can order it from there. You can order it at Liquor Split. Either way, and try it. Try it with rum. Try it with vodka. I've tried them with both, and it is awesome. I'm a Grey Goose guy, and I was mixing it up yesterday, and it was just absolutely fantastic. Sitting in the backyard, relaxing a little bit, enjoying a little Edge and a little Grey Goose. I love it. Great combination. And you can enjoy it too. Go to Liquor Split, download the app, or go to myedgedrink.com. That is Marcel Louis-Jacques.